Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. We're now going to be talking about shaping the future, building skills, and youth empowerment. And that is with you, Saalim Adamgee, founder of Qualitas Training Center. Assalamu alaikum and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum to all the listeners out there. Thank you.
Oftentimes when you hear politicians talking and they want your vote, and when we talk about the youth unemployment rate and all the social ills going on in our country, then the response we get is become an entrepreneur, apply your mind. The world has moved, and you're not going to be getting large corporations or corporates that will be able to absorb all of the young people that are unemployed. And it's frustrating hearing that because, most youth will not have the necessary resources to become entrepreneurs. But you've come onto the scene and you have made a difference. It might not impact on hundreds and thousands of lives, but it is impacting on lives. Take us back to the beginning of your journey. What inspired you to establish Qualitas Training Center? And obviously, you saw this gap in the market, possibly to what I was referring to regarding the unemployed youth. And now you've come up with a skills development space. Welcome.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. I matriculated in 1986 at MH Joseph Technical High School. So I attended a technical school where we did trades. We did motor mechanics, electricians, woodworking, and so on. And later, after I was done with school, I didn't really get an apprenticeship immediately, which I actually realized later in life was a good thing. I ended up working in a machine shop in an engineering company, which taught me to work to very, very high standards. They were very strict in the quality of their work. And later in 89, I managed to get an apprenticeship as a diesel mechanic, even though I studied electricians at school. Nonetheless, I'm in love with working on cars and trucks and so on. So I was fortunate enough to have done my apprenticeship in a professional training center, which actually belonged to the city of Johannesburg back in the day. And as I progressed, after I qualified, I was called back by the manager of the training center to give consideration to becoming a training officer. Back in the day, it was known as a training officer. These days, we call them facilitators. So I've picked up a lot of experience with regards to training at the previously municipal entity, City of Johannesburg Electricity Department, training many students in the diesel mechanic and motor mechanic industry. I was joking the other day with somebody, and I said to them, I was actually training a lot of Afrikaner youths back in the day in the 90s on tractors. Now, given my background, what do I know about tractors? And I was busy training these guys, and they used to go for that trade test at Olifantsfontein Trade Test Center, where they would actually get a very good pass. So the standards that were set by the training center, the standards that were set by the people that I worked with the people that mentored me throughout my apprenticeship, is why I've realized what quality is all about. And eventually, when I was done with training, I moved to another entity where they said to me, "Hey, don't you want to look out for training providers to do skills programs for our staff, skills development, and so on?" So remember, back in the day, pre-94, everything was under the Department of Labor, all trades. And later, all the CETAs were then developed. We have like 21 CETAs. And when the CETAs came about, they were encouraging private training centers. And so this is where I got to experience the newly upcoming private training centers. And I was not very pleased with the quality of what I was getting from them, given the fact that I know what training is all about. And one day I said to my wife, you know what? When my contract is over with this company, I need to open my own business. And out of this is how Qualitas was born. Out of the reason, the the wanting to offer much better quality service, the experience that I had training proper artisans, and this is where Qualitas was born.
How
Thank
long are
you.
you in operation? And where are you based?
Qualitas is been registered in 2007. I've been operating in the Boysons area. I'm currently just on the backside of Gold Reef City. We're in 17 Gold Reef Road on Monday.
Okay, so can you tell me off the top of your head how many students have been through your college or your training center up to now?
From 2007 to now, more than 1,000, 2,000, um, private and funded. We know that the government spend a lot of money, the CETAs, in funding unemployed youth to become apprentices. So Qualitas started with motor mechanics, diesel mechanics, and electricians. Now we are running about 8 trades currently because of the need.
What are the trades, Salim?
We do motor mechanics, diesel mechanics. So if I may, a motor mechanic will work on light vehicles, your cars, your bakkies. A lot of people think because they're working on diesel bakkies or jeeps or stuff like that, that they are considered to be diesel mechanics. We just want to get that clear quickly is that a diesel mechanic is someone who works on heavy duty vehicles, buses, trucks, trailers, and so on.
Wow,
We do,
wow.
we, and then we do auto electricians. Auto electrical is more doing all the electrical on a vehicle. So starter, alternator, the wiring, alarm systems, radios, tracking systems. That's all the stuff that we train people to do. And then we have our electricians training program. We have welding, we have boiler making, we have millwright. And the millwright is a combination of two trades. We have mechanical fitting and we have electrician as a combination. Those guys, they are normally required in big manufacturing entities or mining where they need to move equipment around and reinstall it and recommission it and so on.
So, can you tell us approximately how long does each course or most of your courses take? And clearly they are certified. So when someone walks out of your center, your training center, it's almost guaranteed that they would find a very good job because there seems to be, back in the day, a reluctance for our youth to go into the trades. Things have changed since then, has it not? I think young people and even older people are realizing that if you have a trade, you could actually go anywhere in the world and you'd find work.
That's a fact, yes. Speaking about going anywhere in the world, many people who have qualified through Qualitas has migrated to New Zealand, to Australia, to America, to Canada, all over the world. We have people there, if I may say, representing our brand, maybe
Wow.
indirectly. So, indirectly. So, we have even partnered with foreign companies who want to source people from South Africa to go and work overseas. So that is where we are as Qualitas. Um,
And the
with
length
regard,
of the courses, the length of the courses.
yes, I'm just about to mention that the course can start anything from 1 week up to a 6 month. Actually, with the new occupational apprenticeship, it's a 9 month program. So, for example, if you'd like to learn how to do some, maybe remove the spare wheel on your car and be able to check the oil and water, and if there's any faults when the light comes on the dash, we can custom make a program for you. I often do think about getting the ladies in here on a Women's Day and giving them such a course so that they can be familiar with if
Yes.
anything goes. We might find someone saying to me, Salim, I just want to learn how to weld gates. In fact, we had an open day last Saturday, and this person said to me, I'm on retirement now. I just want to learn how to make some gates and odds and ends. with stick welding, a normal welding machine as we know it. So we are very, very flexible in comparison to other training centers. We look at what the individual's needs are. If you give us a call, talk to us, we're not just going to give you a quotation and send you off. We don't have, among the set courses that we have, we can custom make. We will really find out what it is that you need. If you need only to learn how to repair a starter or an alternator on a car, for example, we will then sit down and work out a program for you. Alternatively, there are some skills programs which are registered and recognized. Those are credit bearing through the CETAs. And then we have what we call the apprenticeships. So to be a registered apprentice, these days you're going to need either a minimum N2 qualification or proper maths and science in order to be registered as an apprentice. To be registered as an apprentice, you're going to need to have a company that will take you in as an apprentice. We will be the training center, and then the contract will be between the company, the learner, the training center, and the CETA. So they have to be registered through a CETA. The program there is a 3-year program. What happens is that the apprentice will come in at this training center. That will be the starting point. We will prepare them, for example, teach them about workshop safety, teach them about all the basic hand tools required for the chosen trade. And then we start developing them step by step, module by module. So if it's a motor mechanic, we will teach him identification of all the tools, all the parts in the vehicle, eventually how to service the vehicle. And then we build it up to a point where by the end of the 3 years, this person can do fault diagnosis, engine overhauls, gearboxes, brakes, every single component on a vehicle they will be able to do. And the rest of the trade is built on that model as well.
They would probably be able to build their own car after that. But let's go for an ad break. When we come back, we'll talk some more, inshallah.
You're welcome.
Your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
The chaos and destruction in the Gaza Strip is beyond comprehension. Virtually everyone is displaced, hungry, and in urgent need of life-saving humanitarian support. The Al-Imdad Foundation has been working tirelessly to address the health, nutrition, and water needs of the population. Our hospital, water deliveries, and hot meal programs are made possible with your support. Your donation, big or small, is a lifeline for those in dire need. Help Gaza survive. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic, Sharia, and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings from short-term to life and investments. A full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Welcome back. It is exactly 11:52 a.m. I'm talking with Saalim Adamgee. He is the founder of Qualitas Training Center, and he talks about building skills, shaping the future, and also about youth empowerment. But in the discussion, I also gathered that he doesn't only necessarily focus on youth. I should imagine unemployed older persons as well could find a space at Qualitas. Welcome back, Saalim. Would I be correct in having made that statement?
100%, yes. We cater for people of all ages. Sometimes I get calls and people will say, don't you think I'm too old? You know, I've trained people. I may look like I'm 75 already, but I have trained people already.
Okay.
So there's
No,
it's just the willingness, just the willingness.
is-
If you're willing
it-
to learn, we're willing to teach.
Alhamdulillah for that, because we do know there are a lot of older youth, if I can use that terminology, people possibly in their late 20s, 30s, and even 40s find themselves in a space where they realize that they dropped out of school or college or university, messed around a lot perhaps, or maybe thought that they were chasing some dream. It wasn't realized, and now realize they need to do something more practical, learn a trade, and that way they can be gainfully employed. And on the word gainfully employed, do you feel that people that come through your center and other similar facilitation centers can be gainfully employed? Is there a huge gap in the market for people in the trade?
There is definitely a huge gap. Government reports that they require about 30,000 artisans to be qualified. We also have what we call a critical skills list that's sent out by government as to which trades are critical and which needs to be concentrated on. With regards to training as Qualitas, it's not only about you wanting to do a certain trade or a certain course. It's also about guidance. It's also about, getting people to change their mindset, their attitudes towards what they approach as well. Because a lot of people don't really know how to go about doing things. Yes, I want to be a welder. I want to weld gates. So at Qualitas, you're not just going to get that information. We're going to teach you how to communicate with people, how to go out there to market yourself, how to draw up your CV if you need to. Just this morning, I was chatting to a group of learners who are busy with their trade test now. And I'm like, what if you go to your company tomorrow and they lock the gate and they said, sorry, we have nothing for you. What are you going to do? So the idea and the message of Qualitas is you got to do your work so good that if no one wants to employ you or cannot afford to employ you, you are going to do your thing for yourself. You're going to market yourself. You're going to do your stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, no tradesman can claim to be unemployed or go hungry to bed.
Wow. Can you share a couple of success stories with us, examples of how your training facility, Qualitas, has positively impacted these individuals or the greater community?
We normally get, besides the private clients who come to us, we get funded by either the Mercita or by TITA, the National Skills Fund. Just to give you an idea, in the last 3 years, they funded us for 100 students across 5 different trades. They all trade tested last year towards the close of year. Out of the 100 that were taken on, 88 finished. They are all currently employed. While the learners were sent back to Qualitas to prepare for their trade test, the companies were calling us all the time, come, we need to finish, we need this guy back here. So all our learners, in fact, some of them even had a choice of 2 or 3 companies because we do move learners around the world. So we have a very high successful rate. Of the 88 that I mentioned that finished, the other 12 were actually poached by other companies. and the companies promised them, higher
Yeah, okay.
salaries and stuff like that. So yeah, we're quite used to people poaching our company, so much so that we had to put a document in place now for them to promise not to do that, but to give the individual the chance to finish their apprenticeship.
What are the type of challenges apart from poaching your learners and your, soon to qualify learners? What other challenge, pardon, do you face, and how do you as Qualitas adapt to overcome those challenges?
Some of the challenges is our youth. A lot of them don't have anyone that can give them guidance. Here at Qualitas, we do that. We have a lot of talks with them. My daughter does a lot of behind the scenes work with them with regards to how they should conduct themselves in interviews, the use of language. When people come to us with personal problems, we sit them aside. We give as best advice as we can. Coming to the workshop, we'll find sometimes on the broader spectrum, the industry and the department are not really chatting to each other that well. We need to be able to service industry. We need to collaborate. This training, the skills development providers, which are us, the industry and the government, the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations or the Department of Higher Education. We need to get together and we need to look at where the problems are and the challenges are. Because if we actually compare, and I'm not generalizing here, there are many companies in South Africa which are not really on a very high standard as they are overseas when we speak about the fourth industrial revolution and things like that. So we still got a lot of work to do with regards to that.
Okay, we have to wrap up now. I've got my next guest lined up. People watching us this morning kind of may feel, especially unemployed youth or even older people that are not employed, and feel, oh, here's an opportunity for me. But what might be a barrier to entry for them would be the fees involved. What do you say to that?
Whenever we have funded projects, we do a lot of advertising to try and, get it out there so that we can serve as many people as possible. With regards to private people who really need to come and want to come, we do have an option where we have collaborated with Capitec. So if you go with an invoice to Capitec from Qualitas and say, look, I want to go and do a course at Qualitas, they will attend to you and you can work out the payment plan with them. And yeah, that's basically
Wow.
how it works. Yeah.
You've really covered all the bases, haven't you? Mashallah. It's very, very encouraging, I must say. And for people listening to us this morning, wanting the price range, the different courses being offered, would we find all of that on your website?
Yes, we would get it on the website. Alternatively, they can contact us on 011-493-6556. And like I said, they're more than welcome to visit us at 17 Gold Reef Road, Omonde, where we can have a one-on-one, to see how best we can attend to their requirements.
Inshallah. Inshallah. I'm going to be sending lots of youth your way. So just look out for the avalanche. It was wonderful talking to you, Saalim Adamgee, founder of Qualitas Training. Continue doing what you're doing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum assalam. Jazakallah khair.
It is exactly 12 o'clock. This is the mid-morning talk show with me, Julie Ali. Still to come, we'll be talking with Tracy Feinstein. She is a call center manager at SADC, and we're going to talk about Teen Suicide Prevention Week. And we will wrap up by talking with a pastor. He's from Heartlines, and that, of course, is Pastor Seth Nika. We are going to be talking about Beyond Belief. So all of that still to come.